I think about it. What is the end game here? It can't be to reintroduce them because that's just dumping GMO.
The dire wolves aren't the end game. They aren't really even a piece of the end game. They're more a part of the journey. Please watch this video. I have hated to see what's happened this week. This should have been an announcement that inspired hope for everybody, for a planet where we could actually save a lot of these endangered animals that are going to be on their way out, quite frankly. The Dire Wolf Project was a moonshot. It was an attempt to do something that had never been done before, multiplex gene editing with an amount of traits that was just not thought possible up until this point. It's going to be really important for making cold adapted elephants in the future that could potentially open up the habitat of elephants, because Asian elephants, they've lost 65% of their habitat over the last 50 years or so. It's not going to be getting better. The climate's changing and they're not going to be able to migrate, and they're going to run out of space. The wolf is a proof of concept showing that we can take ancient traits from a cousin and put them into modern animals. Now, that could also potentially be useful for plants and for crops. If we want to grow crops up north where there's not a very consistent day-night schedule, taking genes from plants that were growing up there before the Ice Age, they've got the DNA, not colossal specifically, but scientists have been able to get DNA from that time period, from plants, and identify traits that would have helped them adapt for that. And beyond that, to bring it back to Earth a little bit, they have been able to study South American marsupials and identify one single tweak they could make to the Australian marsupials so that they are no longer killed by the toxin of the cane toad, an animal that the South American marsupials evolved alongside. So all of those are examples of how this trait engineering could be used and useful in the future. And we don't get to study this without funding, and the Direwolf Project brought in a lot of funding and progress. So helping life adapt on a fragmented planet as the climate changes and life can't migrate like it used to, that's one way this helps. But I haven't even got to the most impressive part of this Direwolf project, which was a completely novel method of cloning, a method of cloning and gathering the cells for cloning that should be a huge game changer for endangered animals and helping them persist. Put it simply, why this new cloning method is so important is that we are in an extinction crisis. We are losing biodiversity at a rapid rate. If we can preserve biodiversity so that it can be used in the future, we can create a biobank of these genetic samples that could be used to aid endangered animal populations persistently. But you can't really do that with the old method of cloning because you have to take tissue that's invasive, it's stressful. You can't really just do that with endangered animals. You're not going to be taking them back to a lab, putting them under, and like it's not realistic. What Colossal did with this Direwolf project is they created a new method